merch, marketing, and the march to the NBA Finals. What the Indiana Pacers' 2-month postseason run has meant for Hoosier businesses. Indianapolis International Airport putting shovels in the ground to build a new state-of-the-art hotel. The economic impact on air travel and business in Indy. And
getting the patient up and moving is key to recovery. A Fishers-based startup is now helping that happen at a major health system. We'll have the details in the Business of Health.
Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and Liuna.
We thought, man, would it be really cool to be the first team to put a QR-like code on a uniform.
Pacers, we're changing the game.
Turner goes inside the slam.
A big score for Indiana innovation. Fishers-based Spoke Notes patch on the Pacers jerseys, putting the company in the global spotlight during the NBA Finals. Well, Spoke Note, just one of many Hoosier businesses cashing in big time on the Indiana Pacers' incredible postseason run. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Now, whether the blue and gold win or lose as they head into Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Indianapolis downtown restaurants, bars, and hotels will remember this June as a win-win. To borrow a basketball phrase, it has been a slam dunk for central Indiana businesses. Fans jamming into restaurants and bars to watch the Pacers playoff games, generating big bucks into the local economy. An Indiana University Indianapolis researcher putting the number at $6 million for each home game alone. If there's a Game 6 back in Indy, that would add up to an $18 million windfall. Hotels? They're booked solid, and rates are up 25%. Pacers merchandise? Good luck finding any. Supply having a hard time keeping up with demand, with orders coming in from around the world. Well, back to those Spoke Note patches on Pacer jerseys. Here's a look at how that investment is paying off. The patch. Since 2017, a 2.5 by 2.5 inch piece of prime promotional space on NBA jerseys that has generated billions of dollars in revenue from a wildly diverse group of sponsors. Take this year's NBA Finals matchup. For Oklahoma City, it's Love's Truck Stops. For the Pacers, Fishers-based tech startup Spoke Note, and what Sports Illustrated describes as perhaps the most eye-grabbing sponsorship yet. A QR code that links fans to unique Pacers content.
You scan that code with your phone, and when you tap that, it pulls up content that's based, triggers on Spoke Note, and when you click play, and it plays, this is the shot right here, obviously, that everyone remembers.
Spoke Note founder John Wexler launched the company about 4 years ago as a means for consumers and businesses to personalize interactions. From simple thank yous to business communication, the Pacers partnership, the first of its kind in major professional sports, has been a game changer.
Increasingly, we see brands and organizations and teams interested in how they can connect with their fans, because at the end of the day, the Pacers don't need awareness. What they really could benefit from is how do they better connect with their fans? How do they connect with their community?
The good thing about it, it's dynamic and allows us to do a lot of things. Certainly on the jersey, it allows us to provide custom content to all of our fans, but beyond that, we've been working with Spoke Note on new items that really allow people to capture memories that are personal to them and be able to attach them to physical items like commemorative tickets. So that's a little tease. You'll probably see some new things coming out very, very shortly with Spoke Note related to some commemorative tickets.
When you start anything, right, you want to know and believe that you're going to be successful. But in our wildest dreams, we really didn't imagine that we would be front and center on the NBA Finals broadcast with Tyrese Halliburton doing an interview on a game-winning shot. You just can't imagine the impact that that's had.
Indeed, this tiny patch is packing a powerful punch for Spoke Note to the tune of about 8 times the average normal digital traffic. And employment, which has nearly tripled in 2025. Wexler believes the halo effect of the Pacers partnership is just beginning.
For Spoke Note, the halo effect means that people want to come and work for us, they want to work with us, they return our calls, and so really our challenge is how do we parlay this moment? The spotlight is really bright, but how do we parlay this into meaningful business for the company? And that's really what we're all focused on.
Exciting times for Fishers-based Spoke Note. Well, Pacers fans looking to get their hands on any blue and gold swagger have proven to be a bit of a challenge. For example, the Spoke Note patch on merchandise is flying out of the retail store at Gainbridge Fieldhouse and through online orders as well. The Pacers fulfilling more than 1,000 online merchandise orders daily, coming in from 43 states and a dozen countries, and those numbers are rising. In fact, the team forced to even limit the number of products on its website so it can handle existing orders. In store, the Pacers have been forced to recruit staff who are put to work in shifts to ensure blue and gold merch, jerseys, hats, t-shirts are locked and loaded.
Well, it's been unbelievable. There's been people in the store at all hours of the day. Online orders have been through the roof. So the demand for the merchandise tied to the finals has been unreal. Right now, as we're speaking, we have 60 full-time employees up in the balcony actually working on retail, which really means, tagging the new merchandise that comes in, fulfilling online orders. So it really is a team effort. We've left the store to the store employees. They're really continuing to restock it, make sure that all sizes are available and plenty of merchandise to pick from.
The hottest sellers, no surprise, the Tyrese Halliburton jersey and anything NBA Finals related. Well, coming up next, Indiana's largest airport and its new flight plan to make it more convenient to stay the night. What a high-end hotel coming to the Indianapolis International Airport means for business, the community, and travelers. Well, a major milestone this week for air travel in Indianapolis. Indianapolis International Airport breaking ground on a new, nearly $206 million Westin hotel that will connect directly to the airport terminal. It is expected to be a game changer for business at the airport and beyond. Indianapolis International Airport Authority Executive Director Mario Rodriguez joins us in studio now to break it down. As always, Mario, thanks for joining us.
Gary, it's great to be here with you.
This has been talked about, a major hotel at the airport has been talked about for years, 15 years.
Oh, yeah, 15 years.
It's happening now.
It's happening now, and it was all planned for. If you think about the third level of the garage, there are moving sidewalks and these wonderful art pieces called Breath of Life. That will connect directly to the hotel. So this is a long time in coming, and finally we're breaking ground on it.
Talk about the potential impact as you see it, and that this is going to be a high-end hotel. This is going to be kind of a throwback, if you will, to a grander time in aviation.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be a Westin hotel. It's going to be a high-end hotel. But what else would Indiana and Indianapolis expect of us? It merges very well with the terminal, so the entrance to the city and the entrance to the state is going to be a grand entrance.
Impact. Why is it important to have this top-end hotel?
It's super important. First of all, customer service. Customer service is incredibly important to us, and we dedicate our lives to making sure that the community is better, and that's one way of doing it. Attracting customers to come in and stay the night before they leave in an early morning flight. Convenience is another part, and also on the economic side, just the construction alone that's being done by a local contractor designed by a local architect will produce 3,600 jobs.
Wow, that's a big number. Okay,
Yep.
Speaking of attracting not only passengers, attracting airlines. You had a major conference this week here in Indianapolis, Jumpstart, hundreds of airline executives, all the big airlines are here.
Oh, absolutely, hundreds. And interestingly enough, it's one of the biggest Jumpstart conferences ever. So we brought in 31 airlines, over 500 aviation professionals. And why that's important, airlines move airliners and establish routes based on a lot of data. But it sure is nice for the person actually establishing the route to know what Indiana and Indianapolis is all about. And there were hundreds of meetings with different airlines established by our folks and different folks, and it really does there's a beneficial effect to it. So much so that right now, because of attracting these conferences, remember we attracted Routes, which is a huge conference also. Right now your airport has more nonstops than ever before, 53 nonstops.
One of the big high-profile nonstops, certainly Aer Lingus, Indy to Dublin, that nonstop to Ireland. How has that been going now?
That's been phenomenal. That's been phenomenal. You have an airliner that is perfect. It's serving the need of the business community. Eli Lilly has a huge operation over there. Our imports in 2014 to this state from Ireland were over $30 billion. Plus, it has a benefit. There's a business component and there's a leisure component. So it democratizes the ability of Hoosiers to fly not only to Ireland, but to Europe.
Yeah, well, let's think about other flights potentially. Any conversations going on this week for potential new routes?
Well, we've been talking for a very long time with Virgin Atlantic and several other airlines for multiple routes into Europe. That's a work in the process, and it'll take some time. But you know, your team at the airport, which is an exceptional team with exceptional individuals, continues to work daily to try to establish more routes.
Mario Rodriguez, as always,
Thank you,
the
Gary.
airport. Thanks very much. Lots going on at the airport.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us. Well, the business of aviation also taking off in southwest Indiana at Evansville Airport, regional airport. The airport recently opening a new terminal for private jets. The United Company's Air Center replaces the facility that used to be known as Tri-State Aero. That new space offers expanded hangar space, updated lounges, and charter services. Coming up next, we honor our commitment to cover business news making headlines around the entire state of Indiana, from pickles in Bartholomew County to a multi-billion-dollar data center project coming to the shores of Lake Michigan in Hammond. Much more ahead. Stay with us.
Here's what's making news around Indiana. Brought to you by the Indiana Association of Realtors. Indiana's 21,000 realtors. The neighbors you know, the experts you can count on.
And we begin this week in northwest Indiana, where the Hammond Common Council just approved what it's calling the biggest development project in city history. A Chicago-based developer announcing plans to expand its operations at the Digital Crossroads Data Center campus along Lake Michigan, a $1.2 billion investment.
This is the largest project we've ever worked on in the city of Hammond, okay? The investment amount is in the billions of dollars spanning the next 20 years. Thousands of construction jobs will be created, and over 35 to 90 permanent jobs are expected to be created, with salaries all over $75,000 each.
That deal is still contingent upon a NIPSCO power agreement. Indianapolis-based Allison Transmission Holdings is acquiring an Ohio-based company in a deal worth $2.7 billion. Dana focuses on off-highway powertrain technology for a variety of industries. It is selling a division of that company. Allison Transmission is Indiana's 18th largest public company. Says the deal will allow them to offer a wider range of products to customers around the globe. Caterpillar is planning a $60 million expansion of its logistics facility in Lebanon. That could mean 700 new jobs for the area. In the new space, workers will pre-assemble engine parts that will then travel to Caterpillar's large engine center in Lafayette. Construction expected to start in Lebanon later this year. A big merger in the nonprofit space. Goodwill of Central and Southern Indiana is merging with Goodwill Industries of Central Illinois. Current Indiana CEO Kent Kramer will lead the combined organization that will serve some 61 counties across both states. Kramer tells us he's excited for the growth opportunities and wants to expand upon the Illinois organization's focus on veterans and veteran housing.
And we've been wanting to figure out how we can amplify our efforts from a housing perspective, and how they operate in Central Illinois is really going to help us understand that and hopefully grow those efforts here as well.
The combined organization will feature about 90 retail stores. They're hoping to complete the merger by next month. The city of South Bend cashing in on youth sports tourism on the ice. Youth hockey generates an estimated $15 million in economic impact in South Bend, and that number expected to grow with a brand new ice rink. The Icebox just marked the opening of its third indoor skating rink. The $12 million investment includes a state-of-the-art refrigeration system. More than 100 apartments and commercial space coming to vacant lots in Kokomo. City leaders have broken ground on the Elwood, a $26 million development. Part of the space will be designated for a restaurant with outdoor seating. It's expected to open next fall.
I'm headed to the refrigerator section. I see the grillos activating the club. Got him. I got him.
Yes.
Got him.
Okay.
Well, a new manufacturing facility in Bartholomew County will become a big deal once it opens. Griot's pickles will be produced in a new $54 million facility along I-65 near the Taylorsville exit. The company didn't provide a timeline for opening, but is expected to bring about 150 jobs to the area.
Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
Well, the University of Evansville and the Evansville Vanderburg School Corporation are living up to the city's slogan, E is for everyone, through a new science and healthcare partnership. Both organizations breaking ground on the Innovation Center for Science and Health in downtown Evansville. Over the last decade, the high school's Academy of Science and Medicine has grown from, get this, 17 students to 250. UE President Chris Petrichevich says 75% of those students stay in healthcare and the Evansville area.
The potential is enormous. The ability to be able to partner with EVSC has been excellent so far. And I think there's enough space downtown for further expansion. We're out of space. So the timing and the ability to be able to collaborate with EVSC worked out extraordinarily well.
The school system hopes to double enrollment in the program. Ball State is taking another step to extend its footprint off campus. The university breaking ground on new housing in the Village. Shovels hit the dirt this week to begin construction on the new $13 million Village South residential development. It's a public-private partnership between the city of Muncie and Ball State and part of the university's broader revitalization vision for the Village, a $200 million plan that also includes a performing arts center, retail, and a new hotel. To northern Indiana now, where the Marshall County Career Innovation Center is getting some big national recognition. The organizations behind the project just given the National Rural New Market Tax Credit Deal of the Year Award. It's a nearly $11 million project that will serve 10 rural school districts, allowing students to learn about a variety of career paths. There will also be educational opportunities for adults.
And so to give them the advanced training to be able to step right into those careers that are the higher paying careers is just so important. Marshall County has over 30% of its workforce in manufacturing. And so to equip them to be able to graduate with oftentimes dual credits and go right into a career job is just so valuable to those students.
Workforce innovation in Marshall County. Well, when we come back, the Pacers' global reach and a connection to Scandinavia.
Halliburtons are all sold out.
Meet the Pacers fan who traveled all the way from Norway to watch his favorite team in the NBA Final.
88 now. So
Plus, Indiana innovation playing a big role in getting the blood flowing. How a Fishers-based company's high-tech compression cuff device are revolutionizing the way hospitals treat bedridden patients.
And it's going to calibrate to make sure that it's the right circumference around her calf, to get the right pressure for the squeeze, to get that blood flow up that leg.
Fishers-based startup Recovery Force Health landing a major medical business deal with Community Health in Indiana. Recovery Force's new compression cuff is designed to get the blood flowing more efficiently for bedridden patients. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta has the story.
Thanks, Gary. Recovery Force Health is celebrating its biggest business deal to date, so far serving 20,000 legs. Recovery Force is modernizing a medical staple. Any person that's been in the hospital for more than 24 hours will be familiar with traditional compression sleeves that squeeze the calves to prevent blood clots. With tubes that get tangled, patients feel tied to the bed and often trip over cords.
Okay, let's get your feet off the side of the bed. Beautiful, beautiful.
The new MAC system cuts the cords and is moving to the masses. Community Health Network rolling out the device at all 6 of its hospitals, from Kokomo to Anderson and Indy.
It's a huge deal because getting one hospital is not saying it's easy, but getting a system, an IDN, which is what healthcare is made of. Tons of hospitals gathered into one decision making. This has been a big catalyst for us as we continue to push this out and get it to the rest of the country.
Even bigger business deals are close to being finalized in 2 southern states, but Community is leading the charge for change.
Doing okay?
More than just a compression device, the MAC system also delivers data. tracking activity like a Fitbit for the hospital.
Where this really gives us steps. It tells us how many steps the patient has taken, and then we can challenge the patient. So she walked a little over 100 steps and really try to improve steps day by day by day, so we're progressively improving their mobility before they're discharged.
Innovation takes time. In our case, they've been doing this way for 50 years, 40 years. So trying to get them to change their behavior, which is what I commend community on. They not only say they're innovative, but what they're doing shows it.
Step by step, it's a homegrown Hoosier story that we've been following for years, from its earliest days at Launch Fishers to the business big leagues.
Yeah, we grew up here. We design, develop, and we even final assembly and manufacture here, so it's a big deal. Our goal is to get everywhere within the country, and no longer will people wonder who is Recovery Force Health. The outcomes that we're doing will eventually get to everybody across the country. We feel like it's going to be the standard of care one day.
When the MAX system is fully rolled out at community, Recovery Force will be serving 36,000 legs, and that's per year. Gary, back to you.
Innovation in Indiana in action. Thanks, Kylie. Well, big news coming out of Southeast Indiana and New Albany-based startup RX Lightning, another healthcare business we've been covering for years. Out of Columbus, Ohio, a company, Cover My Meds, is buying RX Lightning for an undisclosed amount. RX was founded in 2020 to help patients enroll to get specialty medications and has won numerous MIRA awards. Well, traveling 26 hours and 5,000 miles just to watch the Indiana Pacers play in the NBA Finals, that may be the definition of the ultimate Pacers fan. We met Jonas at the team store at Gainbridge Fieldhouse this week, where he was stocking up on merchandise to cheer on his Pacers in games 3 and 4. He's been a fan of the team for decades and told us walking around Indianapolis and seeing the Pacer jerseys made him feel at home.
I love the Pacers, and I've been a Pacers fan since '96. So in early 2000, I couldn't watch the games in Norway, so I just listened to the games on the radio. So I've been a Pacers fan my whole life.
He says he's followed the Pacers since '96. That's when Reggie, Rick Smits, and the Davis boys really wore the blue and gold very well and racked up a lot of wins. Well, there was a buzz in the city back then, just like there is now. Pacers fans soaking up another NBA Finals win. And that's where we leave you this week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gary Dick. Go out and make it a successful week.
They had a different name back then, but same force and playing with an urgency which he does not believe they've done in the final. Right there, that's everywhere.